Hello everyone, we're here at Devoxx 2014 and I'm here with Mandy. Hello Mandy.
Hey Alexei, how you
And
doing?
we're here to talk about something I'm very excited about personally. I think Mandy you are as well, which is Firebase as a solution for backends for a lot of things, but mobile apps is probably a pretty good sweet spot. Firebase is this company which has joined the Google Cloud family recently, and which offers a I don't know if you can call it a mobile backend as a service, but something where basically you have a lot of features that people are looking for when they're building mobile apps or web apps actually, without touching the backend, without spending time on infrastructure. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think whenever we're talking about Firebase, we tend to always circle back to mobile as being the priority and the most interesting place where we can use Firebase today. Certainly we can do web applications as well with it, but yeah, mobile is definitely the sweet spot.
Right, so talking about mobile applications, we're trying to address a space where we need to have massive scale on the back end. And as a mobile developer, you spend enough time writing your mobile app, and life's too short to write a backend, and you probably don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details of putting together an architecture and an infrastructure to support that backend. So how does Firebase address maybe real-time communication, because that's typically what you want in mobile apps? What are the key features that Firebase has to offer?
So I think the guys from Firebase would refer to their product as an application platform, a real-time application platform. It effectively allows client devices, client application clients, run on web or run on mobile, to effectively communicate and share data with the Firebase servers running in the back end. To provide authentication services as well, but also most importantly to be able to share data between other connected devices as well. It could also be that the user can access their state from one device to another, but most importantly that sweet spot again is where data that's stored or from one device will be pushed out to the Firebase servers and then pushed out to any other interested clients in real time.
So can you say more about real-time? Real-time means different things to different people.
Yeah, so I had this kind of problem as well when I first kind of got introduced to Firebase. What does real-time mean? Because I come from a kind of background where real-time would mean stock tickers, that kind of thing, where we need to have things really quickly. So effectively, it's data being shared and pushed out to other devices in milliseconds, but also without any kind of requirement on the client side to actually go and get the data. So the data will become available, will be updated on the Firebase servers, and will be instantaneously pushed out to all of the other devices that are interested in that data.
Right, so typically when you talk about data, it's payloads of JSON data that's being sent, notifications go out. On the client side, how does it work? Do I register callbacks? Do I just get notifications for free when I use like the client library offered by Firebase, saying to build an Android app? How does it work?
Well, so it's very simple to get a connection to Firebase servers. We have various different ways of doing it. In JavaScript, it's a fairly simple declaration, same with Android. Once you have a reference to the Firebase servers, you can very simply make calls to that reference. And effectively what you're doing behind the scenes is making RESTful calls to the Firebase servers, fully authenticated, everything controlled.
So one of the challenges in the mobile world is that connections are unreliable.
Yeah.
And certainly here, where a number of the speakers are not in their home country, they might or might not have roaming, and certainly they cannot rely on Wi-Fi, for example. So
yeah, definitely.
That's one of the many use cases where that's how life is. You don't have connectivity 100% of the time. So does Firebase have anything to help with that?
Yeah, so this is one of the real challenges. Effectively, with Firebase having their own servers and client devices running applications, we can get ourselves into a situation where we have distributed state. State that is available on clients, but has not been synchronized with the servers, and state that's on servers that's not been synchronized with all of the clients. So effectively, we have this distributed state problem. Firebase handles that effectively by storing data locally. So whenever you make a change to data, it's pushed out to local store, and the application event handlers are fired as required, and the application can carry on doing what it does. And at any point, if we're disconnected at that point, at any point in the future when we become connected back to the Firebase servers, that data can be synchronized and pushed back out again. At that time, all other interested clients will also get updates.
So we talked about web or Android in the case of mobile, but Firebase is really a solution that spans across a number of technologies. So just for the web, I was looking at the website, and there are a lot of SDKs and bindings, or I don't know how you call this, for all the popular JavaScript frameworks out there. So Angular, Ember, and a few others.
Polymer as well. Yeah.
Polymer as well, which is the newer one. It supports iOS as well.
Yeah.
So there's an Objective-C client library.
Yeah, so there's an Objective-C client library. You have support for iOS, for Windows, for JavaScript, effectively. Java supports really, but by virtue of being running on available on Android.
And there's can you use this as at the REST API? You mentioned there was a REST API that.
Yeah, so effectively, every single bit of data that you store in Firebase can effectively be accessed via a URL. So you can access your data sets completely via a URL, or you can access individual bits of data via URLs as well, in a completely RESTful way.
Okay. So you also mentioned user management and authentication, and how does that work? Does it support only like just Google, like Gmail accounts, or?
No, that's a great thing. So it doesn't just support Google, which would have been a concern, I think. It supports email and password, so you can set up very basic email and password if you choose to. It supports out of the box 4 authentication providers. It supports Twitter, GitHub, Facebook, and Google. And if you have another requirement, maybe to attach to your own LDAP servers or Active Directory, you can effectively roll your own and use custom auth tokens to connect to those authentication providers.
Great. So I have to say again, I'm very excited about this Firebase joining the cloud platform. What can we expect from that fairly recent acquisition from Google in terms of integrating as part of the bigger family? So I understand the Firebase brand will stick around. Any integration that we can share?
Well, I think one thing that the guys from Firebase did announce last week at Google Cloud Platform Live was the advent of triggers. And triggers will be used effectively to fire off events whenever data is touched or updated, which could allow us to, it's effectively a call to a webhook. And a webhook could be an App Engine application, it could be a virtual machine running on Google Compute Engine, it could be running somewhere else completely, not on Google Cloud Platform at all. Right. Effectively just a call to a webhook. So I think that's really exciting. That will effectively allow us to be able to have hooks into Firebase whenever data changes and invoke functionality outside of Firebase.
Right.
That's the first step that I'm aware of.
It's probably also worth mentioning that we're not requiring people now to use the Google Cloud Platform just to use Firebase as they were before.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that stays that way. At the moment, you just sign up for Firebase. It's got a free plan, a free tier. It's got a very simple tutorial. It's so remarkably easy to get up and running with it. It's quite surprising. You keep expecting to be asked for your credit card, but it's really straightforward. Get in there, get playing with it, and get started very quickly. Yep. It also has its own debugging tool called Forge, which allows you to be able to see updates to your data in real time.
Right, and I've heard good things about the documentation, so I guess it's all good. So guys, if you haven't checked out Firebase already, I would encourage you to do so. Whether you're building web applications, mobile applications, I think it's certainly worth checking out. So thank you, Mandy.
Thank you,
That's
Alexei.
all the time we have for further information. Go to firebase.com for the time being, at least, and check out Mandy's session here at Devoxx, which will be available on Parlays later.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.